Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Mr. Sparky. Well, welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. Today I'm back in the studio with my friend Tony Zach from Mr. Sparky, and it's the most wonderful time of the year, Tony.
Yes, it is. It's one of my favorite times of the year.
too.
Thanksgiving's right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And then we've got Christmas. So, yeah, great
True
time
that.
of year. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm glad to be here. It's a very important time to talk about fire safety in homes. It always seems like on the news we're seeing house fires this time of year, and a lot of those can be prevented. A lot of those are from electrical overloads. You know, and so one thing I didn't realize, and I hope that I'm right in saying this, but when they don't know the cause of a fire, it's automatically determined to be an electrical.
Oh, interesting. I did not know
Right.
that.
So if they have an investigation and they're unable to, then it's usually
Yeah.
blamed on the electrical.
So what do people need to be looking out for around this time of year? Obviously, Christmas lights, turkey fryers even.
Well,
during
turkey
Thanksgiving.
fryers are, you do not fry a frozen turkey.
Please
right?
don't
You
do that.
definitely want it to set and rest and be room temperature, and you drop it in very slowly. So
You seem like a pro at this.
well, I've fried my fair share for
I
sure.
love it. I love it.
But this time of year, we talked about this last month. Smoke detectors, make sure they're working. If they're tan, have somebody come check them out. There's a date code on the back that you can easily find, and it will tell you if it's out of date. So 10 years, right? 10 years. This is cheap life insurance. And you definitely want these in your house, and you want them working. If
For
we
sure.
can't help you, call your local fire department. They'll come help you. They'll come help you change batteries. They don't want people getting on ladders and getting injured. So we're here to help, but they definitely are too. That's what we pay our taxes for as well.
Of course.
Just a quick tip there. But I'm also, today, if we're talking about fires in homes, so this is a new technology, and this is called a dual function circuit breaker. And so inside of this, there are electrical components. And in those electrical components, it's looking for problems on the circuit, okay?
Oh.
Old style circuit breakers, and we still use those too, they detect heat. So when they get heat, they cut off, right? That's the safety of those, okay? These are advanced to the point where it's sending out a signal on this, and it is looking for heat from an arc. And so sometimes in homes, because when they get wired, a staple may be too tight on a stud behind the wall, pinching the wires and creating, it's just a little too tight against that insulation, right? Well, over time, that continues to get worse. This is going to shut that circuit off, okay?
Gotcha.
Whereas in the old, that would really have to heat up that wire to get it hot. This is going to be looking for those. And so now these are required in homes from the National Electrical Code, but a lot of the older homes don't have this. So it's, and we install these in a lot of older homes. This is the new code. That's not why we do it, but we do it because these are much more safer in older homes than the older breakers.
Yeah.
So if you've got an electrical panel, and let's say your house was built in the 60s or the 70s, now even, as much as I hate to deny it, but, even the 1980s is old now, and that was my time. So, they're old, right? And so what do you think the life expectancy should be, right? How well are they going to trip? So it's good, again, to get that inspection. It's November. It's into December. We'll be happy to come out. We usually run a great special on those for those periods of time, and we'll be putting that out on social media and our website. But it's a great time to get us to come out, take a look at your panel. Let's make sure you're electrically safe. If you're using space heaters, those are real heavy on a circuit, and you definitely want to make sure that you're not overloading circuits, and a lot of times that's what's happening out there.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by Mr. Sparky.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents. Well, it is just a beautiful day here at Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents, and I'm joined by Kent. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness, there's so much to see here. But for people that have never been here before, what are you guys all about?
Coastal. We're about experience. We're about color. We're about just joy, honestly. People that come into our store, it's 30,000 square feet of living room, dining room, bedroom, mattresses, outdoor, everything you could think of for the home, we have it here at Seaside.
Truly top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Lighting to rugs to lamps and everything in between.
Absolutely. And and we have people here that are, their average is 30 years in the business. So they know what they're talking about, and they're here to assist you and help you along the way. It's not a high pressure type store. It's a store that you come in and enjoy yourself, and we're here to help you.
All right, let's dive a little deeper. You guys have mattresses as well.
Yes, we do.
Talk to me about that.
All right, we carry Sealy, which has 3 brands to it. We have the Sealy Posturepedic, we have Tempur-Pedic, and we have Stearns & Foster. And then we brought on a new mattress company called Restonic, which is a line that's kind of a mid-size in terms of price point, and it's just wonderfully comfortable as well. And so the Property Brothers are part of that group too.
We know that.
So yeah, we're excited about our mattress line.
Yeah, and I know you guys have a lot of different price points in terms of everything that you carry here. So whether you're looking to spend a little bit more or save a little money, you guys have something for everyone.
Yeah, budget seems to be the ugly word, but it is
Right.
part of the process. And if you come in with an idea of what you want to spend, we can help you out for sure, because we carry everything, like you said, from low to high, and from quality that's questionable all the way up to really excellent quality. We've got Maven, which is a new group that we brought in for dining room sets and bedroom sets. It's solid wood, and you can pick any color that you want, any wood species that you want.
Ooh.
And it's just a very beautiful high line of product that we carry. But again, upholstery, same deal. We have low to high, and we carry it all.
This story is sponsored by Seaside Furniture Gallery and Accents. Okay, well today I'm back in the garden with Frank Johnson here at WBTW. Thank you so much for teaching me all of your wisdom.
Yeah, all right, I do what I can.
Thank you so much. Okay, look at my prop. We've got a watering can today.
Yes, it's more than a prop, there's water in there.
There is, there's actually water in here. So what are some things that people need to know when it comes to watering their garden?
Oh, okay, plants need water.
Yes, they do.
They need sunshine, they need soil, and they need water. It's one of the 3 things. They also need fertilizer and food, but water is very important, especially on days where we get a lot of sunshine and it hasn't rained in a while. And so it's a little more than just picking up the hose and watering the garden. That's important as well, but when you're preparing your garden, you have to think ahead as to how you're going to water it.
Yeah.
And develop a good, healthy soil type. Gardens need to have good drainage, so that when you water it, or if it rains a lot, that water doesn't just stay there.
Like, it's nasty.
You need it to move on. You need the plants to get their drink, and then the water to move on. And we do container gardening here at News 13. So we've got proper drainage. You can't water containers too much as long as there's
Love
drainage.
that.
If it's a container that has holes in the bottom, the extra water is just going to go right out. These containers, if I water it too much, the extra water just goes out.
Yeah.
But if you have a garden in the ground, when you're building the garden, you want to, is it in the proper spot? If it's in the low part of your yard, know that you're going to get water that accumulates there, and you may need to just use plants that drink up a lot of water. But for vegetable gardening, that low spot that accumulates a lot of water is probably not the best spot for a garden. You want an area that's going to drain out nicely, so that when you do water it, the water doesn't just stay. And really, your basic everyday watering, you soak the soil. It's more than just, getting the ground wet.
A little drink.
Yeah, you want it to soak into the ground a couple of inches.
A nice guzzle rather than a sip.
Exactly.
So you can't just go,
there
you go.
It needs more than that.
Yeah.
It needs more than that. And timing is also very important as well. A lot of plants are sensitive if their leaves get wet. and stay wet, they'll develop a lot of mildew or mold or diseases. So the best time to water is first thing in the morning.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm joined in studio by Billy, who is from Day One, Week One. How are you doing, Billy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, let's get right into it.
Okay.
Tell me about your organization.
So in June 9th of this year, 2023, I had an idea to start a nonprofit for first responders and veterans. The suicide rate across our country is astronomical. I did a little bit of research, and it's not hard to find over 450 first responders killed themselves last year in 2022. And that doesn't account for the 6,000 veterans that have killed themselves since the wars have started in 2001. There's a passion and a heavy burden on my heart to stop my brothers and sisters from killing themselves. So I started the nonprofit. It's called Day One, Week One. What we're doing is we're providing a platform for them on our podcast to come and tell their stories. They talk about their traumatic experiences, how they got through those, what their support system looked like, the people that they've reached out to, and some of those people they didn't reach out to when they were in dark places. My personal story of 2 years ago, I was in that frame of mind of suicide. I'd gone through a kind of not a traumatic event, but a traumatic experience in my career. And I felt like I had lost my identity. And with losing that identity and losing the touch of the people in my support system, I didn't feel like there was another place to go. Thankfully, my wife, being as incredible as she is, reached out after I called her and told her that today's a bad day. She reached out to a friend of ours who was an elder in our church. Within minutes, he arrived at my house. And he got out of the car and he kind of gave me a little smirk, but he did something that literally changed my life. He put his hand on the back of my neck and he put his head to my head. He said, "I'm not going to let you do this today. We're doing this together. So for every day that you need me here, I'm going to be here." And it changed my life. The physical touch in that moment, that's what we're missing. That's what we've lost over the years. So Day One, Week One wants to bring that back. My goal is to have a mental health triage group that can self-deploy into these situations. I'm not talking about having them in a situation where they're going to put themselves in danger or anyone else. They're not going to go to an active situation. It's going to be someone that reaches out and says, "Hey, I need help." They're going to deploy. They're going to go where they are. Unlike a 911 or a crisis center where they would just talk to them on the phone and kind of consider their resources, they're going to deploy to where they are. "Hey, let's go get a cup of coffee. Let's go get a sandwich. Let's talk about what's going on," and then make that connection. And the triage part of it will be to find out exactly what they need and get them the resources that they need from that.
I love it. Okay. How can people listen to your podcast or learn more information?
So all you got to do is go to dayoneweek1.org. Obviously, we're taking donations. The big thing about the donations is we're obviously still building this organization. So there's costs, startup costs, there's different things, application fees, things like that go along with it. But eventually, when all of those things are complete, the plan is that we're going to start sponsoring first responders, helping to pay for some of their medical bills, their seeking mental health bills, their counseling and things like that. The best way to reach out, you can go to any platform. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, Truth Social, Getter. We've just opened up we've opened up all of the avenues so that you can't really miss us, hopefully, out there. And we want to make sure that everybody's understanding and knowing that Day One, Week One is here.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.